I know what it's like to go to bed with, an empty stomach. And I worried a lot about my my mom, especially. I remember, not being able to pay the rent, and if, where we were going to live the next day. And, there were times where I slept in the car and we had to make whatever work. We made whatever we had last. One of the stories that my sisters and we laugh about. I remember one time we had stale bread, and I toasted it. My sister came downstairs in this apartment we lived at, and she said, "What are you eating?" And I said, "French toast." It was, it was. We had some syrup in this bread. I just, I toasted it, and it was French toast. And we laugh about that. It's a happy memory. It's, those hardships are, what form us today.
Hi, everyone. This is Brooke Bolts again. We are here with special guest Karen Tucker, and I am so looking forward to you hearing her story. She is an inspiration and is an exception to the rule. You are going to be blown away by her story, and I can't wait to have her share it with you. So, Karen is the owner of FirstLight Home Healthcare. And Karen, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what that is?
So we are an agency that goes into the homes of seniors and people with disabilities, or somebody recovering from maybe surgery that needs just a little extra help. People that most of our clientele are seniors that want to age in place, that they don't want to go into a facility, and they just need, extra assistance, whether it be a little help with meal preparation, transportation, companionship. There's a lot of our seniors that are very lonely, and having someone come in and spending some time, with them can make the world of difference. So really a big part of our care is to also give, that family caregiver a break. Sometimes it's just making sure their loved one is taking their medications, or, they have food in their refrigerator, getting to their doctor's appointments, maybe some assistance with bathing. Simple things like that. So it's, basic things that become much harder for people as they age.
And first of all, I just want to say, of all the businesses that you could choose, to choose this field, that alone shows the generosity of your heart, because it takes a special person to want to help people in their weak moments and at the end of their life. Not everyone can do what you do. And so for you to do it day in and day out, and to have such a heart and a passion for helping people is admirable. And we need people like you, because not everyone, has that ability or that gift to share of themselves in such a trying time for people. So why don't you tell us a little bit, well, first of all, where are you from?
I think I've spent most of my life here, in Florida, different parts of Florida, but also lived in the Midwest. Have, kind of family spread out, but definitely this is my home. My family and I have lived here in this area since 2006, and have my business here for 10 years. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary, and I don't see myself going anywhere. Love what I do, and I love the area.
Excellent. So you're in the Oviedo, Florida area, which is just outside Orlando. And but where'd you grow up?
Mostly in the west coast of Florida. went to high school there and some of my college, but finished college in the Nashville, Tennessee area. So had my children there and then moved to this area for a job transfer for my husband in 2006. So I would say most of my life I've grown up in Florida.
Okay. So I know a little bit about your story and your childhood. So can you kind of just share with us a little bit about, how you grew up and what that experience was like for you?
Yeah, I think I, shared some of this with you. As a child, my mother was a single mother. My father and mother divorced when I was 5, and my mother had five children. I have 4 sisters, and it was very difficult because my youngest sister was disabled, was disabled, but she's passed away. She passed away when she was 30. But when my father left, a single mother with 5 children, it was very difficult. We all pitched in and tried to care for my sister. She was born with cerebral palsy, lack of oxygen to the brain, and she had a severe case of it. So she was very disabled. She, needed to be fed, everything. All of her needs needed to be met. So at a very early age, I became a caregiver. I'm 6 years older than, 5 years older than her, actually 5 years, because it was right after she was born that my father left. But so we have 5-year age difference. And, I tried, my sister tried, we all tried to pitch in and help my mother. But at the end of the day, it just, after, a couple of years, it became, very overwhelming. So my mom had to make the unfortunate decision to give my sister up to the state. And we did find, a place for her, a woman that was a caregiver, and eventually, actually, she adopted her, but she became her guardian. That was a very, very hard thing for my mother. I think she went through a lot of depression because of it, and it took a toll on her mental health. It's not easy to, give up a child, and the struggles that she had in providing care, for my sisters and I, and food on the table. At one point, she worked 3 jobs, and she really struggled. And I saw that, and it was tough. Unfortunately, she started to drink, and it became harder and harder to provide care for my sisters and I. So she, unfortunately, at some point, the state stepped in, and we ended up living with my father. That really, it wasn't his desire to be a father of a bunch of girls. And so after a couple of years of living with him, a lot of abuse happened, physical abuse and mental, from him and my stepmother. Eventually, I went to live in a foster home, which is a much, safer environment. I didn't go back to live with my mother because at that point, unfortunately, she ended up in jail. And so as a child, going through all those experiences, I think, it gave me the compassion for, what I'm doing today. I was able to, go back and have a relationship with both my parents before they passed away. My mother, and my journey with her through cancer. I gave her last bath, and my father as well. I actually gave him his last bath, and it's just, seeing the need of that adult child, and just family members that, what they go through, the struggle of finding people to help. And, so when I get those phone calls from that adult child, it brings back memories of those phone calls, even, with my mother, she would call during her battle with cancer, and the basic needs that she had. She just needed, help with a bath, a shower. She wanted somebody to help her with that or bring a meal to her. Those basic things that, we take for granted that we can do when we're well, and, not, or maybe, an aging person that's, a huge fall risk. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to, be there for someone in their time of need. It feels good, every day to be able to do that for people. It's, definitely very challenging. But, I have to say that, I was thinking about that at my 10-year anniversary. I never would be where I am today without the amazing people that have joined this with me, being a part of my company and being there and also doing this. So they say it takes a village. It really does. I have the most amazing employees, and I've more than anything I've been able to, really help the clients, and the family members. I've had, a ton of testimony to that, but the biggest gift is the people that work for me. I've had so many, caregivers, and, office employees where I've been able to make a huge difference in their lives. The little things that I'm able to do for them. It's just, I have, the little things that you can do to help lift someone up. It's truly a blessing. So I feel honored to be able to, help these families and be where I am. I think, I definitely, I think I've always, everything that I've experienced in my life and everything that I've ever done, I feel like I was meant to do this. So I say that, all the time. I can't see doing anything else, and absolutely love it. I, in my 50s now, and I can see until I in my retirement, still doing it some capacity. So, yes, yeah, that's.
Well, that alone, knowing where you came from, and to know that you were a caregiver at, what did you say, 5 years old?
Yep.
At 5 years old, you became a caregiver for your handicapped sister. That's incredible that you were able to step into that role and help your family in that way. And I remember you telling me, if I remember correctly, that your mom struggled, to the point that you growing up, you didn't have a washer and dryer in your home, right?
Yeah, we didn't. We many years didn't have one. Had to wash my clothes in the sink, and I don't know. I'm not even sure why that memory came up when I told you that, but I don't feel like it. I was. Oh, poor me. I just, I've always felt grateful for what I've had. And I am super grateful for everything that I have now and worked so hard for it. But I know what it's like to not have food, and, not have, like a washer and dryer is such a luxury. Growing up, yeah, I would wash my clothes in the sink, but I guess it didn't really bother me. I was able to get them clean, and not all of the years. Eventually, we were able to get a washer and dryer, but when we could get to the laundromat, but my parents didn't always have the money for that. And thankfully there were times where we had church members bring food to us and stuff. So I was able to eat, but I know what it's like to go to bed with, an empty stomach. And, I worried a lot about my my mom, especially, I remember, not being able to pay the rent, and if, where we were going to live the next day. And, there were times where I slept in the car, and, we had to make whatever work. We made whatever we had last, even, one of the stories that, my sisters and we laugh about. I remember one time we had stale bread, and I toasted it. My sister came downstairs in this apartment we lived at, and she said, "What are you eating?" And I said, "French toast." It was, it was, we had some syrup and this bread. I just, I toasted it, and it was French toast. And we laugh about that. We will go out and have French toast, and it's, so it's a happy memory. It's, those hardships are, what form us today. And I feel blessed to, again, just, be here and be able to help others. I know what it's like when the caregivers call me and they need help. And I want to be there for them just as much as I want to be there for, my clients. A lot of people, right now are just really struggling. There's, people experiencing, hard times, maybe struggling to pay their rent. So if, whatever I can do to help them, I think it's just, sometimes having someone to talk to, makes a big difference.
And I do think that those experiences you had have led you to have the generous heart you have today, because most children at that age who don't have those type of struggles are self-absorbed. Like their life revolves around their wants and their needs, and they look to their parents to meet those needs, and look to their teachers and look to everyone else to meet those needs. And so the kids are me, me, me. But for you, you had to care for your sister and help out your mother. And so your childhood was about helping other people and taking care of other people, not taking care of yourself. And so you have that kind of selfless personality that you've taken into adulthood, where you care so much about other people. And it's just made you such a unique and caring and generous person. So I applaud you for that. Your heart is rare, and I strive to have that kind of compassion and generosity the way that you do. So fast forward, I know that you're in a very successful place now, but that did not just get handed to you. You had to work your way, not only from being, in foster care and coming from a family that didn't have the finances to be able to set you on your way. What was that like for you? And how did you get to that place where you decided to start your own business?
Well, I put myself through college. I, and even in college, I had no idea, what I wanted to do. So just ended up getting a general business degree. It took me a while to finish because I had to kind of stretch it out with work. I actually have a picture of me holding my daughter up at my graduation. And, it was a great moment because it took a long time to get there. It was actually during my mother's battle with cancer that I got the idea of doing this type of business. A friend of ours as well was looking into it, and we both started discussing it, and I started doing the research, and I was already, helping provide care for people, and it just kind of blossomed. I reached out to a franchise that provides home care and went to a meeting with them, and I decided that it was a good fit for me, and I went forward with it. I have to say that, truth be known, it was, there's a certain amount of money that you have to start a business. And, I think that's, a big roadblock for a lot of people. Truthfully, at that moment that I started this, ironically, my husband had lost his job, and it was probably not the best time to start it, but we actually borrowed money off of his 401k. And so it was a big risk to put money down to open up the franchise. And I remember that first year working as hard as I could to, get the business started. And it was touch and go for sure, because, it's the phone just doesn't ring. People don't just walk in your door and become customers overnight. So I, just, kept working and didn't give up. Was most of our customers that we get now, clients, are, word of mouth from people that we've cared for. That's, really what's brought my business to where it is, the place that it is now. But I, definitely the startup of this business was, very, very hard. I think to, try to inspire anyone that's, wanting to, start their own business, I would say just, don't give up. When it gets hard, you got to get tougher. I had those moments of, being at the office at 2-3 in the morning and thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing? And, being scared that I was going to, obviously lose my husband's entire retirement. And how would I, recover that or be able to, repay him for that. And I just, it was 100%, perseverance and never giving up. I think you got to dig deep and just keep going and believe in yourself, and having great people on your side. Some of my people, one of my employees was with me for 10 years. She just recently left, but she was the first employee I hired. She was right there by my side the whole time, and it was having people like that along the way has made a difference. So it's it takes building a business, it's all about the people that you hire. I can't take all the credit. I've been blessed in that manner, but I think the success that this company has right now is 100% because of the efforts of all of the people that work here now and have worked here, and for the clients that we've cared for that have been grateful for our service and continue to refer to other people. But I'm forever grateful for that, and I'll take it to my grave. I feel blessed.
Yeah. Well, you're very humble, and I see that in you. But also, I hope that you're very proud, because those employees weren't there in the beginning, right? Like, you had to make money to be able to hire those employees. So it was all on your shoulders in the beginning. And I know, because you've told me it took like a year for you to get the licensure with the state of Florida. So during that time you're waiting on the license, you couldn't have the revenue coming. You couldn't even bring in the business yet. So you got to the point where, how bad did it get during that year when you're waiting to be able to really start your business?
6 weeks. We talked to our accountant, and he said, Karen, you can make it 6 more weeks. And I said, I'm supposed to get the license any day. My husband said, okay. just, a throw in the towel. You gave it your best effort. And I said, I have a minivan. I could sell that. I was 10 years old and I was scrambling, like, what else could I do to make it work? And, I know a lot of people have had to do that. I'm not the only one that has gone through that, opening a business. I think a lot of people really don't realize that what business owners, small business owners have to go through to get, to where they are. They don't even think about it or know, but it's, there's maybe some people got to where they are easy. It definitely was a challenge, but I think it makes you appreciate it that much more. So that first year was tough, and waiting for whatever reason. That year it took the state so long I had to go through the Joint Commission accreditation process that they dragged their feet, and the state of Florida. So I remember getting my licensure was actually almost 11 months to the day from when I applied. It was 11 and a half months or something. It was so, such a long time. And yeah, you're using resources during that time period and not generating any revenue, but that's part of, doing business sometimes. And, getting through that took definitely a lot of perseverance and hard work. And I remember my husband will tell you, sleeping at the office and not coming home for a couple of days. And, obviously wearing multiple hats. And, but if I, and in the 10 years I've had my business, I can say, multiple challenges. But if you, in anything like this, if you don't love what you do, and I see a lot of people come and go in this industry a lot. They start, a business like this. They, want to care for people, and then they realize how difficult it is. I'm sure, like a lot of other companies, it's definitely not easy. What are the statistics of people, the businesses failing within the first 3 to 5 years or something. It's definitely, that business part of it, but specifically home care, when you're, caring for people, and it's very challenging, especially through COVID. I think that the time period through COVID really had a big impact on our industry. One of my good friends that I became friends with, that was a competitor, she closed her business during that time. She couldn't handle the stress of it. And I have to say it was definitely a challenge, but we made it through it, and we didn't stop caring for people. We were definitely, right out there, during the heat of it, and continue to go in and people's homes and, help people. It was, it was a scary time for sure, but we've made it so far, and hope to continue to, do what we do.
And so it took you a year to get your license, but then you get your license and you're a franchise owner. So there's how many other franchises in the United States of the same business? A lot, right?
Probably, gosh, I don't even want to say a number, because if I'm wrong, a couple hundred maybe.
Okay. So
sure,
a lot of other franchise owners with the same business. So how did your business do once you got your license in comparison to those other franchise owners in your first year of operation?
Oh, you asked me that question. I don't like bragging or anything, but it I was on the bottom, and from that first year, I was, I was number one in the franchise. That it was just, I surprised myself for sure. That is not something that I use to measure my success by any means. How I compare to others, it's really, the feedback that I get from people. Truly, I don't want to do this if I don't feel like I'm doing a good job. I definitely am a perfectionist, and definitely believe in, if you can't do it right, don't do it at all. And the the families that give me the good feedback, and my employees that say they love their job. Of course, I'm sure not everybody loves their job, but I die trying to please everyone. So that's really how I measure my success. I don't like to talk about any other measure, but yeah, I mean, I definitely had success within our franchise, for sure. But
and it's not bragging, it's a fact. It's
Yeah.
a fact that you started a business in a position where you were going to have to sell your minivan and just to pay your bills. And within 1 year, were the number one franchise owner among hundreds of other franchises. So that is amazing, like amazing, especially considering your upbringing and your childhood, and that this was all you. Like, you did not have the support of, people who could invest in you. Like, you had to make these sacrifices and make it happen yourself. And so, that's why I am so, just have the most admiration for you, because not only are you incredibly successful, having overcome all of these challenges in your life, but you still have a heart to serve and are still incredibly humble. And usually people who reach the levels of success that you have are not humble. They're usually full of themselves and egotistical and arrogant because they're so successful, but you don't have that heart. And frankly, I think that's why your business is so successful, because when family members do talk to you, they can see your heart. They can see how genuine you are. And they say, that's the kind of person that I want caring for my loved one. And so your business has thrived because of who you are, in your tenacity and your perseverance, but also because of how genuine of a person you are. So
Well, I know you're going to ask me these questions, or remember all the things that you and I talked about. But I don't like talking about myself, but I appreciate having this chance to come on here, because maybe if somebody hears this, it will inspire them to, the cliche, go out and make a difference in the world. But truly, I think, I care for a lot of people that are nearing the end of their life. And I can say that, they start reflecting on, how they had an impact. And we all have an opportunity, big or small, in what we do. And I think serving others and helping others is just, it can make such a difference in, someone's life. It has made a difference in my life, tremendously. So I get what I give, I get in return so much more. So this, doing this, it fulfills me so much. It's just, it's very gratifying, and it's really it's a blessing to be able to do this. And I say that to, to anyone, this is an honor, and I appreciate this opportunity.
Well, you're making a difference in the world. And I think that's what that's what we all want to do, right? We all want to make the world a better place than it was before us. And that's what you're doing every day through the care that you're providing for these people. you're making the world a better place. So yes, it's wonderful that you feel gratified by it. But you are an incredible person, and you will absolutely inspire other people, because how can you not be inspired from hearing your story? I mean, if I was someone who was in a position that you were once in, and I heard your story, it would absolutely give me hope and absolutely make me feel like, okay, if she can do it, if I put in the same effort and put in the same work and have the same, heart, then maybe I can do it too. So I absolutely believe that people would be inspired. And I've told you, I think you need to write a book. Like, it's that inspiring. Because, we only have a limited time today, but I'm sure there are so many more stories that, just would inspire other people as well.
I would love to, do an episode on the funny stories caring for our seniors. It's really funny stuff, I tell you. But I have a lot of fun doing it too, because they're like big kids sometimes. So and just it would be great to even have it maybe something on the perspective of a caregiver too, because
Yeah.
really the heart of it, the caregiver there, that's everything in our business. The people out there actually providing it day in and day out. Of course, I step in and do that, too. And it really surprises my caregivers when they see me out there sometimes, providing that care, and they're like, "You do this too?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." And I do it because I enjoy it. So I think their perspective of this and this business is very interesting. It's a good, sometimes it's comical, and sometimes it's just heartwarming to hear too how they see it. So, but thank you for this opportunity. And
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. But before we end, I want to hear, what are your plans for the future? Where are you going? If you could have it all your way, what would the future look like for you?
Oh gosh, it's a tough question. The future for, of course, I have a family, and that's a number one, to me. But as far as the business is concerned, I'd like to just keep doing what I'm doing. We have an office here in Oviedo. We service Seminole, Osceola, and Orange County, so we have a big geographical area. I have thought often about spreading out, but I really think we're just staying here and continuing to provide the care that we have. I think, I don't know, what more could I want? I love this, and I love what I do. I don't know if there was more unique ways to find ways to help care be more affordable for people. I've explored that, and unique ways to bring care in people's homes, because people want to age in place. They don't want to leave their home. So how else can we do it? I just want to keep thinking creatively and outside the box to find more options for them. So I'm not sure, what the future holds. I just, I'm taking it day by day. I can't say that I have huge aspirations beyond that, other than just doing what we do every day and doing it as best as we possibly can. As that's really my goal. I don't know. I don't need to climb any mountains. I just, want to do what we're doing, and do it well, continue to try to do it better and better and better.
Well, you've been climbing mountains for 50 years. So I can understand that you want to kind of just enjoy this mountain that you've climbed, and kind of just maintain. And that there's, I believe there is a time for everything. And that's your time, your season now is to kind of enjoy what you've built, that has really been a lifelong endeavor. So I can't wait to see where things head for you. I'm sure that you will continue to be successful and continue to grow because of the person that you are and because of the team you've built around you. People surround themselves with people who are like them. So to have people with you who share the same mindset and heart gives you the opportunity to grow exponentially because you've duplicated yourself in them. So I applaud you for the challenges you've overcome, for the person you are, and the success you've had. And I'm just honored to have you here to share your story. And I hope that people watch and can appreciate how unique and rare your story is, because it truly is. So any final thoughts before we close out?
No, but thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you for asking me to do this. I was nervous because I don't like to talk about myself, but I think the more I thought about it, I think it's important to tell people, and I do really want to inspire people, maybe that again are thinking about starting their own business, or people that need care for a loved one that maybe live in the area, and if I can be of a resource for someone, definitely give us a call for sure.
Yes. And your business is, if someone wants to reach you because they want to hire you to help with their family member, how would they contact you?
So go to FirstLightHomeCare.com. It's a franchise, so we're in different areas. So this local area, whether if you're in Seminole, Osceola, and Orange County, I'm not sure how far your viewers are, Brooke, but in this area, they would call our office. Of course, our phone number is 407-434-0675, or just go to our website, FirstLight Home Care in Oviedo, Florida.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And sign off. Until next time.
Great. All right. Take care.